has a symbol of capital letter C in the periodic table, is an element that is vital to most living organisms on Earth. It is also a key component of our atmosphere. Carbon compounds make up approximately 18% of all the matter in living things. It also provides most energy used by humans in order to survive. Carbon is constantly being used and recycled in nature through the carbon cycle. Carbon cycle is a process in which carbon travels from living things to non-living things. Now, let's see how the carbon cycle works.
The carbon dioxide on the atmosphere is used up by plants. With the aid of sunlight, it combines with water to produce starch or glucose. This process is called photosynthesis, which breaks down carbon dioxide into compounds that enables plants to produce its own food. In this process, plants excrete oxygen. Oxygen is inhaled by humans and animals, and they send carbon back to the atmosphere in the process of respiration. Here, Daisy inhaled oxygen and exhaled carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by this mango tree, and with sunlight, it will make its own food and excrete oxygen as its byproduct. And the cycle repeats. When living organisms die, their remains decay and decompose, and the carbon gets transferred into the earth. This process is called decomposition.
Dead organisms like plants and animals are decomposed. Carbon moves from plants and animals to soils, and when the remains have been around for millions and millions of years, under high pressure and high temperature, these remains will turn into one of the three main kinds of fuel: petroleum, natural gas, or coal. And these are the huge reservoirs of carbon.
Erosion is caused by deforestation, biomass burning, and poor agricultural practices. The same human activities that causes erosion increases the amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. A large proportion of carbon that plants take out of the atmosphere cycles through the soil, partly through its root system, is stored. Decomposing organic matter releases carbon into the atmosphere. When rich soil is removed due to erosion, plant productivity and the input of carbon to the soil is reduced. As eroded soil is transported downslope, decomposition may be accelerated that releases carbon into the atmosphere.
Volcanic activity also results to emission of carbon dioxide. The slow cycle returns carbon to the atmosphere through volcanoes. Volcanoes emit carbon dioxide into waste during eruption and through underground magma. Carbon dioxide from underground magma is released through vents, porous rock and soils, and water that feeds volcanic lakes and hot springs. Volcanoes have occasionally contributed to global warming by producing significant amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases.
When mining fossil fuels like coal, natural gas, or crude oil, this process removes from carbon its long-term sink under the ground and transfer carbon back to the atmosphere. Once in that atmosphere, the carbon dioxide helps increase the temperature on the planet. Carbon moves from fossil fuels to the atmosphere when fuels are burned. This process is called combustion. When humans burn fossil fuels to power factories, power plant, cars, and trucks,
Most of the carbon quickly enters the atmosphere as carbon dioxide gas. There's a massive amount of carbon released each year. 3.3 billion tons stays in the atmosphere.
most of the remainder becomes dissolved in seawater.
Oceans and other bodies of water also plays an important role in the carbon cycle. Oceans absorb much of the carbon dioxide that is released from burning of fossil fuels. This extra carbon dioxide is lowering the ocean's pH through the process called ocean acidification.
Carbon is a greenhouse gas and traps heat in the atmosphere. This makes the earth warmer and causes global warming. Since the start of the Industrial Revolution, humans have released so much carbon dioxide into the air. That's why we should plant more trees and avoid cutting down trees as much as possible. And that's it! I hope that we have helped you understand the processes of carbon cycle. Thank you for watching and happy learning. Bye!